I designed a watch. Sort of. This is a collaboration between myself and Now Watches. And some of you might have seen me show off a number of their designs. Man, my hair is crazy. You might have seen me show off a lot of their designs because I like them. I like goof watches a lot. And after showing many of their watches in the past, I messaged them and I was like, hey, why don't we do a collaboration? Something that fits both of our brands. And their gimmick is they sell watches that don't really, tell the time. They just say now. And I'm like, well, how can we make a remix of that makes sense for both of our, sort of brands? And I was like, oh, simple. It's a loading watch, a watch that doesn't tell time, but that looks like it's just a broken loading thing. And I gotta say, I just got this yesterday. I'm very happy with the build quality, even though this is not a functional watch. And there is a temporary sale on them. Yeah, I love Bell and Ross. Bell and Ross is great. I own one Bell and Ross watch. I own one Bell and Ross. I own one Bell and Ross watch, and I'm a huge fan of it. It's the Red Radar ceramic. But just in case you're curious, we have it's a full case. You see my name right there. Now Brad Padre, and it's got good weight on it. It's meant to elicit conversations with people wondering why your watch might be broken. I've worn lots of Now watches, and I gotta say, like, in terms of people asking me about them, the cheaper gimmick watches get more attention because people ask me how to read it. And as a result, it's funny. I told a true story on a video once where a bank teller asked me how to read one of these watches. And I said, I don't. I look at my cell phone. And she goes, well, why do you wear this? And I go, well, because it inspires conversations like this. And that was the end. What was it? Was it a good or productive conversation? Probably not, but it was funny to me because it's basically just like wearing a troll item on your wrist at all times. So if you ain't got the money to spend on a fancy pantsy digital watch, but want people to comment on what you got on your wrist, you should buy one of these. The real question is, am I smart enough to figure out how to make this work? Like turn this into a functional watch where one of the lines moves around, but still looks like it's a digital watch. That is a big engineering problem. It could just load, it could just spin. Maybe it doesn't even tell time. Maybe it's got a battery, but it just spins endlessly. That's kind of funny. That might be, need to scratch my foot. That might be one answer to the question. Is just it doesn't tell the time. It just spins. And you got to change the battery so that it just spins completely. No. You know what? I got to back up for a second. That's not actually that funny. It should tell the time. Ideally, it should tell the time. If it tells the time, then that's a huge victory. That's a huge victory. So how do I set up, like, I guess if we print this on the glass and underneath there's a functional watch, I might have something. Yes, it's the prank parody video guy. Right now I'm on a watch designer arc. I have like 3 watch designs that I'm talking to different people about, and this is the first one that physically has life. So very, very cool. It could just tell the hour and not minute. Yeah, I guess if the entire thing rotated with the hour, but still, I would love to be able to figure out a clever way to make it say the minute. At the end of the day, the top has to be very flat. Like if we see depth, everyone's gonna know it's not a smartwatch. When's my watch obsession gonna cross over with my music career? I have no idea. My music and watch ambitions are always a little muted, to be honest. How about one bigger outside, another inside? Wait, that's kind of interesting. Well, what you sort of inspired me to think about is, I mean, if it separates, the thing is that if it's two discs and the outer disc is hour hand and the inner disc is minute hand, the whole loading thing would sort of separate. But I don't think that'll look good a lot. I think most of the day it'll look weird and confusing. If the minute wheel is transparent, it could go on top. Yeah, it could go on top. But then how do you tell the difference? You know what I mean? Like, so the bright white one, the bright white one on top makes sense because it could overlap all the others. I guess we could install a black one on there for the minute hand, but when it's in between, it's just going to be a nightmare to read. It's literally just a freaking watch. That's where you're wrong. You see, watches involve a lot of thought. I know how crazy it sounds, but I love watches because it's such a good example of over-engineering a problem. That's what I like about it. Hey, Tony, thanks so much. You're helping me pay for my curry. I'm just this is a very casual live. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk directly about the watch, and I'm going to get myself a meal here at this cafe. So that's what we're doing. It would look cool with hourglass. Hourglass would be easier, I think, to do because you could rotate the hourglass, and you could have the sand symbolize something. It's just that I would want to do it a little bit differently. This is a more contemporary symbol. Love some curry. Will it be quartz? Probably. Yes, it'll have a flashbang for sure. No, you're right. It's a bracelet. let's be honest with each other. It's a bracelet. But that's the funny part is that why is my watch on loading screen? It doesn't tell the time. It doesn't have any batteries. It doesn't work. It's just oh, you know, it'd be funny is if there was a little compartment in here that someone could keep small papers or powder. Maybe that's a gimmick there. But yeah, that's kind of a loading bar or percentage. That's interesting. A percentage. I like that. A loading bar. So this is spinning, and then the loading bar is the minutes. That's very funny. That will be much more expensive because we'd have to make it look good. And I'm sure the materials for that are not cheap because it'd have to look two-dimensional. But I really like that. Hey, got the curry. Thank you. Congratulations, y'all are now watching a mukbang. But basically here to show off the watch. I found a new hobby. I mean, yeah, I really, I've been wanting to design my own watch. Hey, the presentation on this is really nice. I've been wanting to design a watch for a very, very, very long time. I just haven't been able to. Battery could be minutes. I like where you're going with this. I didn't hand make the watch. I'm collaborating with Now Watches. I like it, guys. I think you're onto something. Seriously. A watch that tells time for kindness. Time for kindness is always. Don't you understand? Kindness always wins. In case you guys haven't been able to figure out, I'm trying to co-opt that phrase and make it my phrase. You like this? My wife designed it. And it's for sale on her website. So if you're looking for cool winter fashion, Look no further than hannahsung.com. It took you 5 videos to understand what I'm doing. That doesn't make you stupid. A lot of my jokes are like buried in the meta of the joke, so if you watch just one, you just think I'm being a huge idiot. Hey, with the cheese is very good. Any tips on how to get your dad to stop being jealous? Yeah, you just got to cut him off. That's the only way. Just cut off that father. Father jealousy is a terrible thing. You and your stepsis should be allowed to be happy together. This meal probably gonna run me $20. Well, it is really good. Is that my ring? No, no, it's made by Castro. So, yeah, you don't have to buy it, but we currently have a sale on the watch for the next like 15 days, $4 off. It's only $23. So, if you want to support your scumbag dad's weird other projects, that's where we're going. Do I sing? Yeah, but I suck at it. I'm terrible at singing. An eating loop stream would be pretty cool. I wanted to do a horror movie loop on live, but it never really manifested. And it's funny, Salaka says, I fell off. That's true. On YouTube, my numbers are garbage, but on Instagram, my numbers are really good. So that's it. That's how life is. Sometimes I hit on one of the platforms. Instagram used to treat me like garbage, and now it's my best one. I don't know what to say. That's a throbber. Yeah, I heard that. That's a good name. So, anyhow, I do recommend buying watches from Now Watches. They're very silly, well made, and inexpensive. You like the jacket? My wife designed it. She is super great. If you want cool new fashion, go to hannahsung.com. Where's Stanzi? I'll see her later on in the week. We're trying to figure out a new way to record late to the party at my house, because renting a studio every time is kind of a hassle. How's being a dad? I really like being a dad. It's baby's so cute. He's very fun. No, you didn't miss an announcement. It's just randomly I posted about the Now Watch, which is my the current thing I'm trying to plug, and we're talking about designing a functional watch after this. So if it sells well enough, we'll see how it goes. You know, I'm trying to reverse brain rot, but I'm not doing a good job. Like, I can't compete. The audience is so very dumb, and it worries me because there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I'm Jewish. Which watch do I think is the best? I mean, it depends on price point. You know, asking which watch I think is best is like asking somebody like which tool is the best. You pick the right tool for the job. Sometimes you need a certain watch for a certain thing. Sometimes you need a different watch. That's right, you can't uncook an egg. The internet's brain has been collectively made stupid. And it doesn't matter how good my points are, or how solid I am, or how evil the people I criticize are. Idiots in the comments will still defend them. Rolex, I have a Daytona. It's nice. Any Vacheron is going to be very expensive. I'd love to get a Renaissance or Renaissance. Yeah, Rage sells. You see that in my threads. I've been posting on threads a lot. And It's hard to go viral unless I say something dumb and inflammatory that I don't believe in. I'm fond of motorcycles. They're cool, but I'll never drive one. I got a baby, you know. I don't want to leave him behind. I don't think I have the skill to not crash. Salad's great. I see most of the Mr. Beast stuff was fake. What do you mean? So was Dog Pack way off? Does Mr. Beast not use manipulative tactics to advertise to kids? My favorite album ever. God, such a difficult question to answer. If I had to answer that right now, and I had to give you an answer, I'd probably say The Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails. Hey. Do I game? I used to play Elden Ring. I love the Souls series, but I don't have time. Like, I'm a dad, which is good. It takes up a lot of time. I'm still an orthodontist. I try to make content daily. I'm trying to make my content life overshadow my orthodontic life. In terms of finances, and it's getting there, but it's not there. And so I have this insane ambition out here whenever I come to LA to like get as much work done as possible. How do I feel a teenager should live his or her life? Honestly, just don't lie to anybody and be as honest as you can. This is tonkatsu curry with some cheese. So it's Japanese curry with a fried pork cutlet. Rice and a side salad. Hey, it's me, your scumbag dad. What up? Hey, apparently this place has really good pancakes, but I wanted a meal, you know? I'm an orthodontist, yeah. I have a normal job. Thanks, Connor. There are a lot of frauds out there, man. I don't know. I feel like it's a big uphill battle, you know? People don't get it. We always ask ourselves, why do the wrong Hello, better? Am I back? 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 All right, cool. So as I was saying, so what people don't understand is that the acceptance of small lies will lead people to accept bigger ones. Like being okay with an influencer lying to you about their intentions opens the door mentally for you to accept worse lies from other people who have more influence. That's the best way I can put it, is that when you empower sociopaths at a small level, you will empower them at further levels. And that's, I just wish I could impart that onto the audience more. That like when you defend the RizCam guys, that's a big problem. Like if you're so dumb that you watch the RizCam guys and then you watch my videos criticizing them and you still side with them, you are not gonna make good decisions in who you trust later on in life. You're gonna be ripped off, you're gonna be hurt, and you don't even sort of realize it. And it makes me sad. What do I feel like I'm lecturing you? I don't know, somebody asked me a question about like lies. Hey, if you wanna talk about the watch, the watch doesn't work, it's funny, it's a gag gift, buy it for somebody. If this sells, I'm gonna sell more. I'm on a big watch designing arc now. I hope it works because I love watches and I would want to be a part of the minute should be battery percent. Anyways, that's the best idea I've got is if we remake this, the white hand or even the entire wheel could be the hour hand, and then there's like a loading thing that represents the minutes. It's just the question is, how do we make it work? Never mind. I don't need to ask. I already know. Oh, I know how this was going to work. It's a little complicated, but I know. Where can you buy the watch? Nowwatch.org. It should be linked in one of my recent videos. About $23 plus shipping. But they sell normal watches on the site, like the watches that work. The LTE bar, how much? $23. It's on sale right now. It's very inexpensive. It's cheap. I don't want. I'm not a. Where is it manufactured? I'm not entirely sure. My guess is China because that's where everything's manufactured. Yeah, but the watch is meant to look buffering. It's meant to be looking like this. It's such a singular goal. It's meant so that when you go out and you have dinner or drinks with somebody, they go, "What's wrong with your watch?" And you go, "Oh, nothing." That's it. Like I just like those very tiny touches in fashion choices. And I have had many conversations about the regular Now watches where people wonder how to read it. And I say it doesn't tell time. And it's very funny. It's very, you don't know until you try it. All I can say is you don't know until you try it because it's very funny. So moving forward, what kind of content? Okay. Well, trying to get out of doing brain rot all the time. Brain rot has been doing very well for me lately. So my next video is going to be a multi-part narrative told over 3 different videos. I mean, typical Brad joke where it starts normal, like a hopeful romantic video, and then it descends into chaos by the last couple seconds. But there will be a sequel. So you'll see a couple having fun and being on a date, like being loving with each other. Then in the last 8 seconds, an act of violence occurs. And you have no idea why. And then the next video will explain who the people were that committed the act of violence. And so if you watch them, you'll end up watching them out of order, but then you'll figure out the plot. Will it work? I have no idea. Well, at least it ain't brain rot. Because I can always churn out brain rot, man. My Facebook numbers are killing these days. And it's because of brain rot. It's because I'm intentionally making garbage. And whenever I pitch the scripts, I'm like, this is what we're going to do. And I look at these folks, and I'm like, look, I know this is stupid, but it's probably going to get a lot of views. And then it works, and then I do the same thing the next week. Well, the thing is that if I go too abstract, the video tanks. I need that initial engagement in order for anyone to see it. Going too abstract is risky because when people come hang out with me, they have certain expectations that I'm going to get a certain number of views. Romancer is asking me, what's it like to go through an existential crisis? Thank you.
Yeah.
About the content every week. It's not good. It's not good. It's bad. Because, yeah, I mean, it's sarcastic brain rot. But I feel like the people who see it, who like normal brain rot, they don't really realize the message. They're too dumb to realize that I'm making fun of them as well. Like, I saw so many videos of the, hold the corner for the girl joke. And I was like, this is what you want? This is what you want, right? So you're going to get it. I'm going to make a bunch of videos of just garbage, stupid plot holding the corner. And they all did well. They all hit on Instagram. It's like watching a kid eat junk food and be like, you like this? Take more. Just stuff yourself stupid on junk food. And the kid just loves it. What WTF is wrong with the world? I think think the problem is that certain individuals have learned to capitalize on loneliness and turn it into a profit center, a very lucrative profit center. And it is very difficult to fight this profit center. I think that's it. I know that's maybe an existential answer, but what kind of watch? Auto? It's got no movement. It doesn't work at all. I ordered tonkatsu curry and I'm about to finish it. If I feel like I'll stay for another like couple of minutes chatting with you about the watch. Yeah, this make a working loading screen. That's funny. Does the channel's name? It represents a part of the existential crisis because I wasn't able to. All of it is a slow degradation of my honest intentions. It's that I kept on getting screwed over for like financially lucrative things. Like I'll be uploading a video later today that's going to end a contract that will make me more money than any singular month on YouTube for like way less effort. I can't fight it. I wish I could make TikTok content and YouTube short style content with legitimate action and violent scenes. That is to do like Quentin Tarantino style, Christopher Nolan style, just like fight scenes with guns and stuff, and I can't. It's not going to happen. I don't do live streams often. I feel like streaming doesn't really suit me that well. I feel like I don't really have a bombastic enough personality. my wife tells me about that. She's like, whenever you stream, you sound like a Dr. Padre. And it's true. I'm very upfront when I stream. Sifanis says, do what you want to do. Life is weird because I set certain goals for myself. And I'm so persistent. I never drop it. And so the goal was to always try and outperform my orthodontic income with artistic income to see if I could do it. And I mean when I was working full time. And I feel like, raising my family and having them spend a lot more time in California is so expensive. I don't want to like admit defeat, right? I want to outperform my orthodontic income. And people are like, well, why don't you just be a doctor here? And the answer is because if I just worked in Iowa, I could retire probably 3 years from now. I could just be done. You know what I mean? But I want to use these more youthful years to like do stuff in California. It's interesting. My ambitions are very, very high out here, and let me think about how to phrase this. The moment that I stopped putting violence into Scumbag Dad's videos, that was selling out. It was conforming to the guidelines of the system. So as I slowly became more of a part of that system, I started to reduce my true intentions more and more and more. And I see people who actively deceive their audience, and that offends me. That offends me greatly. It offends me greatly when people take advantage of dumbasses for money. Nobody's on the side of the stupid. And maybe I shouldn't even be, California chews me up and spits me out. I don't really feel like I'm chewed up. I feel like I feel like I've learned a lot about art and promotion, and I feel like I wish I could change it, and I'm still so naive that I think I stand a chance. Does that make sense? Would I not go onto another platform so that I can do the violence? The thing is that in order to start doing, to do it algorithmically, it's not going to work. Even YouTube blocks it. It only really works on like a major platform like Netflix or Hulu. You know what I mean? This plate, it's in Cali, so it is more expensive than if I got it somewhere else. I think it's like $18. Yeah, I like pickles. Well, I'm chugging away good, but it's about trying to find new passions and find new ways to do things. I can't be a brain rot guy forever. From all the celebrities that are in California that it eats your soul, you know what? Maybe it doesn't eat my soul because I'm in a good, healthy relationship and I've got a cool child and I live out in the suburbs. I mean, the artists who live here are really good. The comics and the editors and honestly, the food's really good too. This restaurant's amazing. You know, what surprised you most when it came to clickbait and engagement? I'll tell you what surprised me is that the simpler the simpler the brain rot, the better the views. It's like when I get super existential with it or really interesting or I try to do cool camera editing tricks, the video tanks. So I earn financial freedom for myself from being an orthodontist. Yeah, I am free. Isn't that so interesting? Is that I'm so lucky. I don't need to do any of this, but I feel like someone's got to call out these idiots. Is that crazy? I don't need to do any of this. I just like watches, so I designed a watch. I don't know. I want to raise my son. And I want him to think his dad was really cool. And I think I'm doing it. I just dropped him off from daycare a little while ago, and he said bye bye, and he said give me a kiss, and it was really cute. So for those of you who are wondering whether or not to have kids, do it. He's a cool baby. And, having a family is really nice. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. A lot of work, but highly, highly, highly recommended. Anyways, back to watches. Hey, if you like watches, buy this. Do I get a good salary as an orthodontist? Yes, for sure. It's an excellent, excellent lifestyle. Have more kids? It's possible. Yeah, no. It's cool. Taking him to Baby Rave was a very emotional experience because he had such a good time. I've got all this footage of him at Baby Rave, and I think I want to cut it together and do like a Hunter S. Thompson style monologue. Like, it was right outside of Inglewood when the sugar started to kick in. I had a pineapple cake and a cookie, and I started to go crazy. Lights, flashing, unicorns. Yes, I'm wearing, so I designed this with the help of Now Watches. It's currently available for $23. What's Baby Rave? It's family-friendly rave. They do this thing where like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you could bring a family to what amounts to like a rave. And like the volume's not very loud, and they have face painting and like a lot of old head ravers are the parents. And we met 2 couples and met their families, and they were really, really cool. So, anyhow, I think I'm going to pay the bill here. I think we've done a nice little live. We've covered a lot of ground. How do I feel about the Costco guys? I think their content is very boring. I'll take the check whenever you're ready. Yeah.
Are you all done with the
Yeah, I'm all wrapped up. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
I think the Costco guys are boring, but they won the lottery ticket, essentially. Good for them. I don't think they're terrible people. It's only been 30 minutes. People are expecting like hours and hours of streaming, huh? How do I feel about filming my son? I feel like context is important. I feel like it's one thing if I'm filming him doing normal family stuff and I integrate that into content. Like what's wrong with posting a picture of my family and I? I feel like if I start to force him to do something against his will, then that's a problem. If I'm like, oh, you got to do this dance or else we're not going home, like that's going to be a problem. Now I'm getting another call. Did my audio go out again? Yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, using him like, I think it's okay to show your family in content. I think the issue happens when, like, he cries over something and then I film it. You know what I mean? Like, I should only post, like, what I would send to grandma to cheer her up. You know what I mean? if I try to purposely embarrass him or do that thing where parents like cracked an egg on their heads, that's really stupid. And I make enough money. I don't need to do that to Zev. I don't need to do that. I'll involve him in content, but I'm not gonna make him look like a jerk. There you go. Okay, well, I'm paying the bill. Thank you so much, and we're done. Good night. Goodbye. Please buy the watch. Boom. Or don't. It's your money, but if you do, that'll make me happy. Goodbye.